Hello card fighters, welcome to Vanguard Central Academy. We got another Tech to Rec. This time we're going to talk about Sebreeze because I think it's a really interesting topic, right? Sebreeze, it used to counter the grade 2 game. You can basically run it in any deck, just takes up a slot in the G zone with so many strides available that can unflip anything. Sebreeze really doesn't take up much space. You can just end up unflipping a Sebreeze. Some examples of this are like Blade Master Titan or Spectral Diablo. They can just pretend like Sebreeze isn't even there. And so many decks can take use of Sebreeze. It kind of creates this weird scenario where no one really wants to try to grade 2 game because Sebreeze is going to happen. And when Sebreeze happens, there are some people who think that it's not too punishing, but it can be very punishing, especially decks like Gear Chronicle, obviously Gear Chronicle, they can actually put in a world of hurt off of a Sebreeze play because a lot of their multi-attacks right now don't use Counterblast thanks to our lovely friend TikTok Worker. So they can play the grade 2 game with you, and then if you try to play it with them, they're just going to be like, hey, what's up? I'm just going to smack you with Sebreeze and 7 attacks while you're at grade 2, and that's so hard to deal with. But enough about Gear Chronicle again. Sebreeze creates a situation where neither player really wants to play Sebreeze. So sometimes you may not even run Sebreeze, but then the threat of it, just that you could have it, is just stopping people from trying to play the grade 2 game against you, and everything is happy, so to speak. So I think that's a really interesting dynamic where you don't necessarily have to play Sebreeze to reap the benefits of it. And yeah, that's really it. I think that Sebreeze is a really tough card to fit in certain decks. So people might try to think, so something that might be smart to do is start thinking about, well, can the deck I'm playing against actually afford to Sebreeze, right? Is using up those counterblasts too important for them? They're going to give you a first normal stride anyway, but maybe they're too high damage that letting you stride at all is bad. There's so many things that could go wrong with Sebreeze and so many things that could go right with Sebreeze. It's really hard to determine for me if it's even worth running, just because no one seems to do it. And some people who are grade 2 gaming, they're not going to give you the 2 damage to Sebreeze. So it's well, do I run Sebreeze or do I not run Sebreeze? And lately, I've actually had a lot of success not running Sebreeze, just because people will assume that I have it, not play around it, or not even bother with a grade 2 game, and then they just head straight to 3, and then Sebreeze just kind of sits there. And yes, there are things that can flip it up, but it's always better to have something that can give you a little bit more options, in my opinion. So that's kind of my ranty thoughts on Sebreeze. I think that you don't really have to play it. It's interesting in a 2 out of 3 format. Having the Sebreeze is actually somewhat more important than not having it in best of 1. In best of 1, I think that you probably don't need to run Sebreeze, because if your opponent gambles that you don't have Sebreeze and you do, that probably hurts them way more than they can deal with, and then it's only best of 1, so they're going to be really far on the back foot, and they might just lose that game because they ran into your Sebreeze. But in a 2 out of 3 game, you might really need the Sebreeze because someone could just call your bluff that you're not running Sebreeze, and then they get that information for the next game. So even if they don't win the first one, or they win the first one, whatever happens with that first game, they have that information that you don't have Sebreeze, and then they can take advantage of that correctly. So I think that's really interesting, how it's probably more important to have it in 2 out of 3 format than it is in just a best of 1 format. But then you can go mind games, and you could be like, well, maybe I didn't use Sebreeze on purpose to get an advantage in the next game because I felt like I could already win this game even if I didn't Sebreeze. So it's really interesting, I think. But anyway, yeah, those are kind of random thoughts on Sebreeze. Think about whether you actually need to run him for sliding that Sebreeze into your G-zone. Thanks for watching. I hope you got something out of this video. Shouting out to my patrons on Patreon who help support this content. Make sure to stay subscribed for some more Tech to Recs. Rule questions finally happening. Those are going to be every week, so again, subscribe for those. Thanks for watching. Keep on learning, keep on having fun, and I'll see you in another video.